Benue governor says the state is bleeding as the Inspector General of Police visits, and President Bola Tinubu says he will now be visiting the state, shoving part of his schedule. Trouble in the APC? Well, the Northeast Summit says it all as endorsement tears party apart in the zone. A very good evening to you all, wherever you may be watching. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Oshiomhole-Air here in Abuja. So much to talk about tonight on the program. We'll deal with the issues in Benue State, the APC Northeast crisis that we saw happen in Gombe State, and of course a right of reply from Airpeace Airline on the allegations of extortion. But first, let's have you with your political roundup stories.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has stressed that collective action is what Africa needs for economic development. The Vice President, who gave the advice on the opening ceremony of the 4th Annual African Sovereign Wealth Investment Forum, also urged government institutions to utilize the continent's sovereign wealth fund with sound financial discipline for the benefit of all.
Strengthening our climate resilience, promoting food security through agricultural innovation, supporting micro, small and medium enterprises, or embracing the digital economy to create jobs and expand opportunities.
Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court of Abuja has rejected the request by the federal government to have Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan arrested for failing to appear before the start of an alleged defamation case against her. The judge gave this ruling after the government's counsel, David Cashway, admitted that he served the charge on a lawyer that same morning in the courtroom. At the day's proceeding, the prosecuting counsel, Mr. David Cashway, told the court that the matter was for arraignment, but that the defendant was not in court. The judge disagreed with the prosecution's argument that as a legal counsel had been served, it was only expected that Senator Akpoti was aware of her pending arraignment. In Delta State, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Guwo Emomotimi Dennis, has assured citizens that the Assembly is taking decisive legislative steps to enhance safety and support law enforcement efforts. Speaking at a press briefing in Asaba to mark the Assembly's second anniversary, the Speaker disclosed that the bill to amend the Delta State Community Security Core Agency law is currently under consideration, just as he emphasized that strengthening community-based security framework is a top priority of the state legislature. Meanwhile, the group of youth supporting the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, in the PDP is urging him to remain focused in steering the party through turbulent political times. Speaking at a press briefing in Port Harcourt, River State, the national coordinator of the group, Mr. Habib Musa, described Governor Mohammed's leadership in the PDP Governors Forum as a beacon of hope, applauding him as the only remaining formidable structure within the party.
The people of Nigeria deserve better. They deserve better leaders who uphold the principle of democracy, justice, and equality.
Lastly, a civil society group under the aegis of the Ariwa Revival Project has commended President Bola Tinubu and the National Assembly for their collaboration in strengthening democracy and national development. Addressing journalists in Abuja, coordinator for the group, Mr. Mutaka Ibrahim, calls for unity and continued support for the President's administration, just as he calls on the President to continue to formulate policies that will better the lives of the citizens.
Thank you so much that you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. It's in Benue State. The state has been saying it's bleeding because of the past killings and attacks that the state and some part of it have experienced. On the Friday, we saw a community very close to Nasarawa. Villages, communities brought down, burnt, and villagers ransacked and sacked from their homes. That President Bola Tinubu says it's going to be visiting on Wednesday. He said earlier today as a commissioning ceremony in Abuja. Take a listen to the president.
Why I sympathize with the Benue people, I've spoken to the governor. the leadership and people of Benue should accept our condolences and tried hard, very, very consciously, to maintain peace, harmony among themselves. I've always said this, that we are one single huge family living in the same house, stay in different rooms, but living together in harmony will be the result of our diversity for prosperity. We should be able to manage our anger and frustrations.
President Bola Tinubu today. So earlier, we've seen the governor of Benue State, I said earlier, receiving the Inspector General of Police, and the governor told the IG that the state is bleeding.
We are bleeding. We are in sorrow. I believe your visit is going to uplift our spirits and build within us formidable assurance of the fact that we are not alone and you continue to be there for us and to support and to do this journey together with us.
These mindless acts of terror are not just attacks on Benue State. They are attacks on the sovereignty and integrity of our nation. An attack on any community in Nigeria is an attack on the entire nation. Criminal elements and bandits might have operated with impunity in the past, but the day is fast approaching when they will come to attack and will never return.
We wish that it comes, but let's get inside into this. There are a lot of things that the governor has said, what is going on the ground, the protest and the widespread. In fact, the Roman Catholic Church Pope has spoken up about this matter. What about those who are representing the people in Parliament? What is their thought? Don't forget, on this program, the governor has said some politicians are behind some of these attacks. I'm being joined by a member representing Benue State in the House of Representatives, Honorable Tese Ugo. Is live for us here. Thanks so much indeed for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having us on.
Our heart goes out to the people of Benue State on this very, very sad note that people are being killed. And first and foremost, some of you have been described as behind these attacks. The politicians in Abuja, are some of you behind this?
It's absolutely false. Absolutely not true. The killings in Benue have gone on for many, many years now. Several governors have experienced this, and this current administration is also experiencing this. And we saw this coming. Because
you saw it coming?
Yeah, we saw it coming because there's history. So right from when we got inaugurated, I started experiencing it even before I was inaugurated. When I was elected, when I was member-elect, I experienced the first attack in my constituency.
Your area?
Yes, in my local government.
But this is not in your area?
This particular one is not in my area, but I'm from Konde local government, one of the hardest hit crisis areas in Benue State. It's part of this crisis, an ongoing crisis in my local government and across Benue. Katsina-Ala, Ukum, Logo, which are neighboring communities. My constituency is bordering with Cameroon and bordering with Taraba, bordering with Katsina-Ala, where it's also a hotspot. So we experience daily attacks from the headsmen. And we have
and presence of headsmen. What kind of headsmen are these people?
Well, from the report we've gotten and from the victims of the attacks themselves, they have said it clearly to us that these people who are attacking them are headsmen. And
is it retaliatory in any sense?
It is not retaliatory in any sense whatsoever. Benue State does not have a militia. Benue State does not have any kind of gang or militia. The last time Benue State had anything that looked like a militia was Ghana, if you remember Ghana,
yeah.
Who has been killed.
Yeah.
And his people, his militia has been completely wiped away.
Under Samuel Otom.
Under Samuel Otom. Samuel Otom gave them amnesty when he became governor. And many of them returned their arms, and he tried to integrate them back into society. It did not work 100%, and that area has remained volatile to today. But there is no organized militia in Benue State that is going around attacking communities or attacking any other ethnic group that lives within or around Benue State that will require a reprisal attack.
So this is not retaliatory. This is not reprisal of any sort.
Not at all.
Who are these people that you imagine? You are a son of a military officer.
Yes.
What do you think, in your own sense, that could have been the cause of this?
I think that this is clear terrorism. I think that this is clear banditry. I think that this is possibly an offshoot from Boko Haram. This is clearly a case of terrorism happening in Nigeria.
Those who are alleging that they are being harbored in neighboring states like Nasarawa,
yes.
Is there any truth in that?
There's a lot of truth in that. In my local government too, we have information that they are camped in Kashimbila, which is part of Taraba, but on the border with Benue.
But those states where they are alleging that they are being camped, there are no attacks in those areas.
Well,
what are they looking for in Benue?
Benue has fertile land. Let me tell you a little bit about Benue. Benue is the number 4th or 5th largest in terms of population in Nigeria. The Chi people are the number 4th or 5th largest ethnic group in Nigeria. Benue State is the number 1 most Christian state in the whole of northern Nigeria. Benue is 99.9% Christian. It's the most Christian state in Nigeria. It is the most fertile state in Nigeria in terms of food production. Benue was the food basket of the nation. But all that is gone. Over 40% of our arable land currently is not being farmed. So our young people, our women are currently displaced. Hundreds of thousands of people are displaced. There are no more farming. Farmlands are being taken over. And we have settlements now of the Fulani who have settled in our land right now and have taken over a lot of land for grazing.
But you heard
so
what
farmers
the
are not able
president
to
said
farm.
when he said people should sit down and reconcile. Who are the opposing parties here? When the president said reconcile.
We have never had problem with any ethnic group in Benue. Benue has a huge population of the Igbo people.
But politicians are talking in the midst of this. The
Yeah.
governor is alleging that some politicians are these, some other politicians are, even within the APC, you are hearing conflicting positions about this matter.
Look, there's no need,
politics, is there any way politics is in the middle of all of this?
Not at all. Not at all. There's no need to politicize this issue. There's absolutely no need to politicize the issue. The fact is that the governor and the members of the National Assembly have not been able to work together because the governor has not considered us important enough to support his government. So he has not invited us for a meeting since he became governor. He has not engaged with us.
Are you a member of his party?
We're a member of the same party. But so he has never engaged with us. He has never invited us for a meeting.
There's been faction.
Never.
It is said that some of you are of the SGF faction in the APC.
Well, we don't recognize that.
So there's opposition within the party.
Yes, there's opposition, and unfortunately, the party at the national level kind of added fire to that to those cracks by appointing a caretaker and dismantling a sitting executive of the party in Benue State unconstitutionally. So the party at the national level added fire by creating that scenario.
Because there are the feelings that, on one hand, yes, the insecurity in Benue State has its own fire, which is propelling the crisis. But on the other hand is the fact that politicians are not supporting the governor and they are fueling it. Because the governor said it clearly on this program that politicians in Abuja are the ones behind, and there are intelligence to that fact.
The governor said he will release a report of a commission of inquiry. He said he will release it on Tuesday or Wednesday last week. We've not seen that report. We are eager to see the report. In fact, we released it. The National Assembly Caucus did a press conference a few days ago where we've asked the governor to release the content of that report and to subject it to investigation.
Those of you on the side of the SGF, what do you have against the governor?
We have nothing against the governor.
The governor is not the leader of the party.
He is a leader of the state.
So why is the contest between the SGF and the governor? Who is the leader of the party?
We don't understand why there's a contest. We don't understand.
Is he not
why.
the leader? Is the SGF the leader?
The SGF is a leader in his own right.
But
he has been the leader of the party.
The leader in Benue State of the APC.
Look, the truth of the matter is that the SGF, Senator George Akume, remains the leader of APC.
Above the governor.
Look, the governor is a leader in his own right. The governor is the leader of Benue State, and there's no challenge to his authority.
But traditionally,
nobody has challenged his authority in
we
Benue.
see that the governor takes the lead as far as the party is concerned. Every other person, whether you're a former governor, they fall in line, because that's always, if you become governor today, the present governor, you become his leader.
Okay, what did the SGF do to not offer him leadership of the party? He became governor. He had the party structure in place. He never called the party together one day to say, guys, this is what I want to do. He never did any concessions. So how do you become a leader? You know, the problem is that this is just, the governor came from the church. He was not a politician. So he did not understand the role he needed to play to naturally and systematically take over leadership of the party. What gives governors leadership of the party? Because they fund the party, they give support to the party, they help build the party. That is all the governor needed to do. Nobody is competing with his leadership. Nobody is competing with his status as governor of the state. He formed his cabinet 100% by himself. The SGF did not nominate one person into his cabinet. The SGF has not nominated one person as his advisor. He has done local government elections across 23 local governments. He has single-handedly handpicked all the 23 and all the 276 councillors in the state. So the governor formed his team without a single input from the SGF. And that's the problem
that is he had with the SGF.
No, that is, well, you know, politics, you know, sometimes you want concession, you want to nominate, you know, I helped you become governor, I supported you financially and otherwise, I want to nominate somebody to help you to be in your government. So he turned down all requests for nominations from the SGF and from any of us from the National Assembly who campaigned with him, worked with him. We had a framework, we had a mindset, we had a manifesto that we all work with together. So we expected that when he assumes office, we will come together as a party and promote the things that we had campaigned on. I had campaigned in my local government that we should open up the Nigerian-Cameroon border in Benue so that we can benefit from international trade through the Cameroon border. There's Kashin-Bila power plant there. There's an airport close by there. So I had spoke to the governor about this issue. So for me, as a representative, there are certain issues that I wish I could present to the governor now that we're in office, but he has refused to listen to any ideas from us.
Are you going to Benue on Wednesday when the president is visiting?
I'll be there.
What would you think that, in your mind, as a leader, in your own right, the president should be saying to the governor if he gets on the ground? You're a member of the party too, isn't it?
Yes. I think the governor, the president, should bring peace and harmony within the party and within all.
And I imagine that the SGF also will be there.
Yes,
would you say that the president should sit in the same room as the governor and the SGF and resolve their differences? Would that help matters?
Well,
and douse the tension?
It will help matters once there's peace and there's unity to help matters. And it will help matters because when there's unity and when we're working together, then we can harness all the best ideas. I have information on ground in my constituency that I could propose to the governor. The SGF has a lot of information operating on the national. So if we work together, we can harness the best ideas to bring peace and bring development to Benue. But the point I'm making to you is that politics and the political differences shouldn't stop the governor from playing his role as the chief security officer of the state. The political differences is not an excuse to say, because I'm not getting along with the National Assembly, I'm unable to manage a security in Benue State. I don't think that is a good excuse. The fact that we are even off his government, the fact that we have little contribution to his government in terms of ideas or anything, it should give him the free hand to do what he wants. And he has the free hand. He has all his appointees. He has the free hand. The SGF has never stopped allocation to Benue one day. The SGF has never fought the governor and stopped any benefit to Benue.
I'd like to also anchor on this note. What do you think could be a permanent solution to this? It's becoming an age-long crisis.
You see, the DG of the DSS publicly said communities will have to come up with self-defense mechanisms. Communities will have to defend themselves. Communities will have to come up with vigilante and other systems where you can protect your communities. This is what Benue needs to do. For a long time, like I said, Benue does not have a militia. Benue has had several attempts to set up state security apparatus.
That was set up and it's still operating.
The former governor Otom did that, with the anti-open grazing law and the forest, I can remember the title, what he called them. Then this government came in and set up their own, his own security, the volunteer guards called Anyamnyo. Unfortunately, we've not seen much of the impact of Anyamnyo in Benue. So we've not been able to set up a good security architecture to protect our communities in Benue. We've just not been able to. And let me tell you, the military and the police security forces in Benue are in Benue for peacekeeping. like you said, I'm from a military background. I also went to military school. So I know the mentality behind the military operations. The military formations in Benue are there for peacekeeping. I interact with them at the grassroots level, and I know their mindset. They're not there to open fire on any group of people. They're not there to go all out and open fire on Fulani or open fire on the Chi people or any other tribe in Benue. They are there to maintain the peace. And because of that, when these people come and attack, they attack and they retreat. The security presence is not there, doesn't have the mandate to pursue them across state lines and go and attack them in another state. That is not the mandate of the security in Benue. But right now, with this situation, they need to go on the offensive.
All right.
The military needs to go on the offensive. If not, this problem will not stop.
Honorable Tessa Ubo, who is a member of the House of Representatives representing Benue State in the National Assembly. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to another trouble ground. And this time around, philosophically and ideologically, is in the All Progressives Congress, APC. And we saw trouble which flared up at a high-level meeting of the party in Gombe State when the stakeholders met in the Northeast region Sunday afternoon after what they perceive as somehow sidetracking the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, from the endorsement arrangement for the 2027 ticket. The meeting was held in Gombe State and brought together governors of the APC in those states and key figures of the party from across the region, including ministers, lawmakers, governors, national party leaders, including the APC national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, who led the top officials of the party. But trouble began when Honorable Mustafa Saliu, who is the APC's National Vice Chairman Northeast, publicly endorsed President Bola Tinubu for a second time. However, in his address, Saliu made no mention of Vice President Kashim Shettima, himself a prominent son of the Northeast. And there was where the trouble started. Let me allow you to listen to a bit of what really transpired.
We want to reaffirm and also adopt the endorsement earlier done by the National Working Committee on behalf of the National Executive Committee and the Convention that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is endorsed to be a sole candidate for 2027 election.
Thank you.
We have a progressive leader. We have a progressive President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the leader of our party, the leader of democracy in Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And also, we are proud of his deputy. We are proud of his vice president.
The APC National Vice Chairman Northeast. Thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Shaun. Thank you for having me.
Why did you omit Kashim Shettima, the vice president, from the endorsement? That is the trouble. That is what you caused. Why? Was it intentional?
Shaun, I think this trouble is also largely caused by the constant misinterpretation and ill reporting done by the media. I think you could have played my speech fully, or even at least the last paragraph before the endorsement. The last paragraph of my speech before the endorsement was eulogizing Kashim Shettima, recognizing him as our son, and expressing that we stand by him as people have noticed. And also eulogizing the National Security Advisor, recognizing him as our son, who we are very proud of, and we stand by him. And also mentioning all the ministers and other juicy older parastatals that were given to Northeast indigenes, and thanking Aswaju for that. Before I now call for endorsement of Aswaju as a sole candidate of the APC. It will interest you to know that in party politics, we have only one ticket during the primaries for executives, both the chairman of local government chairman, the executive governors, and the president. There is no party guideline or constitution that allow a president to run the party primaries with their running mates. It is only one ticket for only the president. It's after the primaries, when the president becomes a candidate, that he will now pick a running mate, which is usually his prerogative. Even though the party may be consulted, and other stakeholders may be consulted, but it's solely and constitutionally a prerogative of the candidate, the presidential candidate, pick his running mate. So that informed the decision of not only me, but even the Yobe governor and Borno governor, during their speech, they talk about Kashim Shettima, praise him as our son and express our confidence in him, and also endorse the return ticket of the president.
So, Mr. Mustafa, let me just jump in quickly. You perhaps know the sentiment in all of this matter. There are those who feel that there is something brewing, and there are issues there's some kind of friction between the president and his vice president. And that politically, no. Just for a moment, let me land with the question. And that, politically, you know what it means. And when there's an omission of a ticket which binds the two of them, where you're endorsing one and leaving the other on the turf of the vice president in the Northeast, you know the kind of trouble that this is bringing. And it brings to mind whether or not there is a plan to leave out Kashim Shettima if President Bola Tinubu is running for second term. Those are some of the sentiments.
So let me quickly note that the administration of party and party activities is not done on the platforms of the new social media, neither on the pages of newspapers or the screen of televisions. Party is run administratively within the office. So if you hear any rumor or any suspicion or conspiracy theories, I don't think we should base our party activity like the APC Northeast Summit on that. This rumor you are talking about is inevitable. This rumor, there has been all administrations have such rumors between the principal and the vice president. But because normally this is what people do. Some people there are people we call crisis entrepreneurs, conflict profiteers. So they will manufacture all sorts of rumors where there are none. And also some politicians also become insecure. You know, because I want to believe if you are very sure of yourself and you are secure, all these rumors should not worry you. So you should concentrate more on what ought to be, what is in the rule. Showing you have legal experience, you should know that we should not go out of our laws just because of someone's suspicion of conspiracy theory. We should not go out of our laws. We cannot come and say we are endorsing Aswaju for a sole ticket. Then we now say, okay, we are giving another ticket to the vice president.
So just a moment, there are those sentiments that this is the top this is the region where the vice president comes from, and they say charity begins from home. There are those who are saying at that event that you would have even gone ahead to endorse the vice president alongside the president. Let the president say no, he's not using or he's not going with the vice president. Why would it be like the vice president is being dropped from his own home? That is what it felt like for those who understand Hausa language, and they are saying without Shettima, they are not going to go with Bola Tinubu. There is now a discontent within the APC in the Northeast because of the feeling that their own son, Kashim Shettima, is going to be thrown out in the rain. That's what they feel like.
Nobody. No, anybody that tells you there is a discontent in Northeast. I'm in the Northeast. You can see I'm in Yola, and I have contact with members of the zone from Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, and Yobe. And it should interest you that we did not sleep that night preceding the summit. We stayed all night brainstorming on this matter, and we did what law permits us. What law permits us to do is to mention our son and stand by him. And we did that. And you can see that other zones, they don't have obligation to mention him. But if you have the full video, people have the full video of my speech. I mentioned him. You have the full video of Memala's speech. He mentioned him. And the same thing with Governor of Gombe and that of Borno. All of them mentioned him. But you cannot give what we don't have. As I said earlier, you have a legal experience. Name that non-court habit. You cannot give what you don't have. We don't have ticket for vice president. The only ticket we have in the party
now different is from 2019. Malam Saliu, your Hausa is very good. Mine may not be excellent, but I can understand what people were saying in the Hausa language. Especially some of those who are speaking as though they are from Borno. I can differentiate the tonality in their inflections in their Hausa. So I do know, and if you hear, I mean, unfortunately, we may not be able to play the natural sound so that you can hear what they were saying, how they were cursing, and how angry they were. Prior to 2019, just remember, prior to 2019, it was Oshibajo and Buhari everywhere. They were endorsing both men everywhere. There was no controversy whether or not there will be one ticket or two tickets. No, it was Buhari and Oshibajo ticket all the way. Why is this different?
See, there's nothing different here, Sean. Now, as somebody who is not, let's assume I'm not the national vice chairman of APC. I don't have any knowledge of how the party operates. I can come and say, yes, for primaries, I'm endorsing so person and so person together, because I don't even know how the primaries operate. But we cannot, as Northeast stakeholders, because our son is the vice president, we will now come and endorse Aswaju with conditions. We cannot do that. We are endorsing Aswaju unconditionally. And given the fact that constitutionally it's only one ticket we have, we don't have the vice president ticket. Vice president is the prerogative of Aswaju. So if we say now we now take the words out of the Aswaju's mouth and say we have endorsed that with the team, it's as if we are going ahead, we are putting the cart before the horse.
Now, where do you go from here?
For even our son, that is
where do you go from here? Now, this trouble has escalated. How do you resolve it?
Yes, and this is not unconnected with the fact that some people are still practicing the politics of 1979. This is an archaic, because some political actors have moved from barbarism to decadence without passing any kind of civilization. How will you think that by bringing in talks into a summit, for them to be chanting all kind of this thing, will now show your popularity or otherwise in a zone? No. Any other person, we came naturally to just do this summit. Any other person can bring 10,000 people to that place too. But if a section of our zone that we decide to come and overpopulate the place so that they will make it look as if we tried this, something will happen, no. That is not true. This is not the true narrative. In the Northeast, we are endorsing Aswaji unconditionally. And we are reaffirming that Kashim is our son. We are proud of what he's doing. We trust him. We respect him. And we stand by him. But it's the prerogative of Aswaju, as our son candidate, to determine whether Kashim is going to be his enemy or not. We are not going to put it as a condition.
He's not even sure. With the body language now, he's not certain that the president might go with Aswaju. But because I know that you are a national executive of the party during the Buhari-Oshibajo race. So, and you know what happened there. So this is looking different. And I asked you earlier, how do you resolve this? It has escalated badly.
No, if today, this thing did not escalate badly. People are sponsoring news on the media to make it look bad. I'm in my zone. I'm moving around freely. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm going to Gombe from here. From here, I'm going to Taraba. I'm touring my zone. There's nothing that's happening in this zone. Nobody is taking this matter. Is some people that want to use this as an instrument of coercion. If somebody like me, small me, that you cannot coerce, you cannot intimidate, talk more for Aswaju, you can't do that. It's a wrong way of trying to get political reward. Now, nowadays, we are talking about people's participation and secular consensus.
All right.
That's what gives you edge in politics, not violence. Nobody will be threatened. You can't threaten anybody if it's politics game of numbers.
Yeah, I hope you're fine now because they tried to come after you physically. There's some people say you were beaten.
Yes, they tried to come
some
after
people
me.
Say you were assaulted.
They tried to come after me physically, and I'm still waiting before I declare anybody enemy combatant. I'm still waiting for 48 hours to see whether I'll see apologies from any quarter. Because
who are the people behind it? Who are the people? You said they were sponsoring talks. Who are these?
The security agencies knows the section of people that they orchestrated that attack. Thank God I was not touched. Nobody was able to harm me as planned. But I still believe it's premeditated. But the reason why I will not come and divulge all the information because this is now an ongoing investigation.
All right.
And once the facts are gotten and we are put together, I will now make it available to the press.
Right.
But I'm assuring you, the people that perpetrated this will not go unpunished, and their sponsors too.
Mustafa Saliu.
Because I cannot be scapegoated. I'm not illiterate. I'm not a poor man. I cannot be scapegoated. I can fight for myself. I can defend myself. As I said on this channel before, myself, I'm a political institution. As myself, I'm on my own. So I can defend myself anywhere and from anybody. Thank you very much.
Saliu, APC's National Vice Chairman, Northeast. Thank you so much. Please keep safe because that chair was coming for your head and I was worried for you. That head would have been gone by now.
I'm military trained. I know military maneuvers. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a break, everyone. But when we come back, it will be time for Airlines to reply. Senator Adams Oshiomhole was on the program yesterday alleging that the airline was involved in extortion. We'll be getting to hear from them tonight after this break. Yesterday on the program, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, former governor of Edo State, was talking about his experience when he alleged extortion from Air Peace Airline, perhaps Nigeria's biggest aviation carrier. And he says that his treatment was not because, and his resistance was not a fight for himself, but for those who are voiceless and who could not fight for themselves. The senator has alleged that some staff of the airline were engaged in extortion, not only of himself or other passengers. So tonight there is a right of reply. And we have Mr. Ayodeji Adeyemi, who is the operations manager at Air Peace Airline. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you, Sean.
Naturally, we probably would have been seeing you on the tarmac, but now you are here to defend your airline.
We're bringing it here. Thank you.
If you can summarize, right, because this is your opportunity to respond to all of the allegations made by Senator Adams Oshiomhole and some of the tapes and some of the videos that have gone viral online as to the operations of your airline and the incident of that day, because that's one hand, and those that have linked it to other experiences that they had with your airline. Can you summarize what really happened from the point of view of Air Peace?
Okay, thank you, Sean, once again for giving us the opportunity to respond to this. And like you said, distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole has made several allegations, which we stand on our ground that these are false allegations. And they are probably being motivated for personal reasons for what we have seen so far. And talking about this very incident, it's a case of He said he wants to be treated like a Nigerian, just like any other passenger. And that is exactly what was done that day. He came in late for his flight. That has been established. And he did not deny it as well. Upon getting to the airport and requesting to be taken on the flight, he made a statement that I would like to correct as well. He said, if you are checked in online, you can't check in twice. But he checked in online, as he claimed, in quotes. But he still went to check-in counter. What is he doing at the check-in counter if he has checked in online? I will make it categorically clear here that Senator never checked in online. He was only trying to make his way around, which he still did yesterday. The same thing he did at the airport, trying to use phone to, sway people. I checked in online. He did it right here yesterday and said, I checked it and I gave journalists. He did the videos of the people that I interviewed and shared it with all the journalists.
So let's get it clear.
Nobody has
If anyone checked in on your platform, checking online,
yes,
and anybody who has bought a ticket, would you see it at the back end?
Of course.
Will the person's name naturally come on the manifest?
You are already checked in and you are part of those that are supposed to be boarded.
Would your name be on the manifest?
On the checked-in list, I'll differentiate the two.
Okay.
Okay? So once you check in online, first, the system is going to give you your boarding pass. You will have it on your phone.
Your seats,
yes,
and
your seats,
allocated
everything is
on
allocated.
your check-in?
Yes.
So you can check in how many hours before the flight?
You can check in till like 3 hours before the flight, before it shuts. So it's 24 hours check-in open. That's before flight. And about 3 hours it stops so that people will not take advantage of that when they are coming in late. That's the essence. So he did not, I repeat again, and I want to, right here, challenge the senator to produce the boarding pass that was issued to him when he checked in online.
Does the platform produce, because in some other climes, you get to print at the gates,
yes,
or at the, where you have self-service check-in machines,
yeah,
you can be able to print your boarding pass.
If you check in online, you can print your boarding pass.
But does it produce online? Does it produce for you a digital version of your check?
You have it on your phone. You have it on your phone. So that's why I said swinging the phone.
From your back end, you did not see Senator Oshiomhole's check-in.
I repeat again and clearly, Senator Adams Oshiomhole did not check in online. And he has not till today produced the boarding pass to anybody. He can tomorrow if he has it, but it's not existent.
So you did not find him. So it's his words against yours. You did not find him on your manifest, on your check-in.
It was not on your check-in list. So
he said he came in at about 6 a.m. for the 6:30 a.m. flight. In your own books, that is lateness.
It's late. He came in after 6. Let's assume his own time is different from mine and all sorts of things.
What is it? What is the latest time you can come in for a 6:30 a.m. flight?
Our check-in closes 5:45. That's 45 minutes to departure. Now we gave you.
We thought it was 30 minutes.
No, it's 45 that is stated. That's the condition. Now
is that the aviation rule in Nigeria?
Yes, that's the aviation. Not only in Nigeria, we are guided by ICAO. We are guided by ICAO.
ICAO is the
international civil aviation organization. So what we do is everybody has a local working process. And you have a right to walk around that 45 and 30. But the rule says 45. You will go to some airports outside this country. Their domestic flight closes 1 hour before departure because of what it takes. So you have a right to do it that way. Every airline in Nigeria uses 45 minutes just to proceed to save time. He came to the counter and it was late. The team is one of the known senators in this country. Even the baggage handler, the check-in agent, they know him. So he was giving good attention. Oh, he's here. The supervisor picked up his radio and checked if it was still possible. But by that time, the door of the aircraft was shut. So now, telling him the door was shut, he decided to take laws into his hands and jumped on the conveyor belt. We have the video. It's not hidden.
He said he never, because this is the other video Senator produced. No. But in your own video, and I think that, okay, so this is the video that you sent to us.
Yes, that's...
so
that's
is that him on the conveyor belt?
That's him right there. That is Senator...
And you said that he was... Yeah, he said he resisted when he saw that the extortion was going on. And he said that he was not the only one that was involved in this.
We'll get to that. So talking of resistance when he saw extortion, we have challenged that he should produce one person that was extorted in that very case. We
have a video as produced by him yesterday.
Okay.
Of a lady who was saying she was also involved in that.
Okay. So now that we've gone to the lady already, let me shock Nigerians. The two ladies that Senator used is not aware of this, but he will know probably through this medium. The two ladies that Senator interviewed, he interviewed them himself because he was inciting them to talk and to complain about what it is that they are going through. These two ladies were not on the said flight at all. I see the look on your face.
Those names
These
are not.
Two ladies
they never booked that
were
flight.
Booked to travel on the 6:30 flight of the 12th of June, 2025.
What were they doing at the airport?
Not on the 11th. So that is what he is not aware of. Apparently, the lady with infant was trying to see if she can come and make the flight for the earlier day. So she was not at all. And the infant she's carrying did not even have a ticket. We produced evidence of this. Yes, this very lady. We produced the evidence of their ticket history. I highlighted it, where they were booked for 12th. They were not, the both of them. They were not booked to travel on 11th. But they got to the airport. They saw a distinguished senator, who is a well-known person all over the country. They were spurred by him and his activities of jumping over the conveyor belt and trying to instigate others to join him. And they jumped to it. They fell victim to what the senator was doing.
Let's look at Mr. Ayodeji. Let's look at some of the issues that was raised. Issues of exploitation. Why were your people asking for more money over that ticket for a no-show?
Over his own ticket?
So he said that they were asking him to pay more money. In fact, I mean, the other people that were also said to have missed their flight, like himself, on that same flight, were being asked to pay about 100,000 more to be able to get on the flight.
So under standard aviation policies, when you miss your flight, you are entitled to change your ticket. And by so doing, you are charged no-show if there is fair difference. If there is fair difference. Understand that difference in fare happens if you are choosing the next flight. Obviously, it's 2 hours or 1 hour to the time that you're choosing it. Seats are probably going to be limited. If you want the later flight, the evening flight, you're going to pay far less than what you're paying for the next one. So you need to run through what you want and your preference for you to get on the next flight. And he stated that they were trying to corner him to one side, that he should be separated. Nobody at any point did that. The manager came to attend to him and was even trying to bring him down from the belt, that he should come. The first thing is, when you see a passenger of that nature, you want to separate from such activities like what he was doing. So he brought him down and told him, okay, at this point that you've accepted that you are late and you've missed your 6:30 flight, the next flight is for 8:30. The 8:30, to get you on the next flight, we will need to change your ticket and you will be charged. And that's when he took it up and
he said, FCCPC says that they are weighing on this. Have they invited your airline?
Okay, so I was going to mention that, and it's shocking, I must say, that with all that has gone on and all the infractions created by the senator blocking an airport. So I must mention here, the implication of blocking an airport is way more than what we have been looking at. If during that blocking, we have the video, we shared the video of him sitting with the other woman who didn't have any business being at that airport that day, sitting at the gate and blocking it. If we have an emergency in that airport, where will the passengers run to? Where will customers run to?
But what about the rights of the passengers? Because the airport is supposed to serve. Because there are now allegations being drawn, people who are coming up that this is a usual air peace attitude of delays in flight, exploitation, and complaints of tickets, problem with ticket refund. There's an indiscriminate flight delays and indiscriminate flight cancellation. And all of these have come up based on what Senator Adams Oshiomhole, people will come to the airport and stay till very late, and they'll give them a bottle of Coke and biscuit. These are a lot of complaints have come up.
Okay, so
Is your airline having a problem operation-wise?
Negative. I must state this clearly here. Nigerian aviation is to be looked at with all the complexity that comes with it, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of external factors that we deal with. We have several cases that we can make references to that causes delay of flight. Let's understand something. We will never be forced to fly any flight that we deem not safe. We all saw what happened recent days ago. May the souls of those that were lost on the Air India flight, may it rest in peace. We do not want that. We have issues with activities of bird strike. We have issues with activities of weather. You have issues with activities of...
But when people are alleging that it has become a culture and an attitude of your airline to be late, to disrupt, to cancel flights...
That's where I'm going to. That's where I'm going to when I talked about the environment itself. And what APC have observed over time is, yes, before now, we even keep an aircraft on ground, a standby in case we have any of these issues, whether uncalled for issues that we didn't plan initially. And we are still not able to meet up because the level of occurrence is high. I'll take, for example, sometime, I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, on the same day, in the space of maybe 5-6 minutes, we had the bird strike in Port Harcourt. We had the bird strike in Owerri. 2 different aircraft, 2 different routing. And these flights are supposed to operate minimum of 8 flights a day.
So disrupted your operation.
Disrupted.
So on the fact, because we are totally out of time,
we have to move into it.
What do you say to your passengers that are watching tonight who have a feeling that your airline mishandle operations, or that those who think that you cooperate in this? What do you say to them tonight?
Okay, so to the flying public, I will just say, because of this topic that we are going through, I will mention that from the 12th of May, that's last month, 12th of May 2025, we've had to rejig our schedule in a way that we're even doing something out of aviation, leaving about 2 aircraft to come in to rescue disruption. And we've recorded average of 90% OTP, that's on-time performance, since then. Right. Just for us to, like I said, it's out of aviation. It's against our own costs. Okay. It's not good for us, but we have to because of the customer.
Mr. Ayodele, thank you so much.
Just the last one before we go. I will mention again, like I said earlier, the fact that the FCCPC have summoned APC. I feel it is very unfair, and nobody has even called Senator Adams Oshiomhole to order over what he did at the airport, which is obvious to every Nigerian.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Ayodele is the operations manager at the APC. Thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
But that's our show for tonight, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm sure Oshiomhole. God bless Nigeria.